it's almost like every single facet of our life there is some form of sort of self-help, personal improvement option out there to give us support. One area that nobody seems to be interested in investing in is their own voice. So I had an interesting experience earlier. I had the joys of being on a call with customer service to sort out a technical problem with the internet. And like all technical problems, you have to go through to customer service. You have to explain things that are quite difficult to go through. And the biggest challenge actually wasn't just the nature of my problem, which obviously was very frustrating. It was the fact that I couldn't really understand the person I was speaking with. And this is a problem very often that we have with people, not just from other countries, but from different parts of the UK as well. It's so difficult to understand them, and obviously when signal and connection starts to go in and out as well, that makes it even harder. And it's something I've been thinking about, a great deal recently. The topic of articulation, of good diction. It's so important. It The general standard, I think, has just been in demise for so long now. Um, Now, people very often have the misconception that it's about speaking in a posh accent. It's about being posh or coming from certain backgrounds. It's really not that at all. It's nothing to do with that. And in fact, just on that, there is a series of online profiles for the BBC Archive footage. I know BBC Archive have got, I'm sure they've got a YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, and so on. And they will show a lot of, um, as I say, archive footage, speaking with members of the public from the 1960s, 70s, even through to the 1980s, where you have these really lovely interviews with people from all sorts of different parts of the country. Could be London, could be the Northeast, the Northwest, the Midlands, Birmingham. And these people have got accents, very, very clear, obvious accents, but they're the way that they speak is so clear. And it just goes to show it's got nothing to do with that. It's just the general way that people articulate themselves. Um, I've had to look at this recently because of narrating videos that I'm doing. I actually spent a bit of time looking at or listening to actually how other people did it. There's somebody I know a little bit, not that well, but I've exchanged with him. I won't tell you who it is, but he does a lot of narration work, a lot of voiceover work, and I took some time to hear how he actually changed his voice when he was doing certain things. The voice he has, of his normal voice, I suppose, on things like podcasts and interviews, and then how he changed it when it came to actually doing voiceovers in certain different parts. And I spent some time listening to that, and I listened back to how I was using my voice for those sorts of purposes, as opposed to more of a sort of free flowing type of setup. And it was a really, really useful exercise. There were certain things that I did to change things. When you think about it, it's so important. As I said, going back to that exchange with customer service, there are so many helpful self-improvement guides now, whether it's fitness, whether it's nutrition, eating, diet, working out, being organized, planning ahead. It's almost like every single facet of our life there is some form of sort of self-help, personal improvement option out there to give us support. One area that nobody seems to be interested in investing in is their own voice. It's almost as if that's become something that we don't bother with anymore, and actually we almost celebrate, people mumbling along and not really giving any putting any effort into it whatsoever. The chances are you're going to be in a job that requires communication, whether that's to members of the public, to customers, to colleagues, whether it's face to face or through, digital Zoom calls or Google calls, whatever they happen to be. Um, and frankly, even if you don't have that sort of role at all, you are going to have to promote yourself and therefore put some effort into articulating yourself and coming across, in a coherent manner. Um, it's a big opportunity as well if you think about it. I'm saying the standard is particularly poor. Um, so actually, it's one of those things that if you work on, irrespective of your particular area or of interest or your career, it's a potential point of difference. And I'm going to leave you with a tip actually. Um, I noticed this when editing a video the other day. So a lot of these tools, and the one I was using was CapCut, by the way. Um, they will have inbuilt sort of captions and subtitle features. So if you upload a video to them or import a video, they will try and auto generate subtitles or text captions, and they'll do that purely based on obviously the sound and what they can pick up. And I was quite pleased to see that there were only, I think, a couple of words of mine that they couldn't quite get right. So that's a little test actually. If you record yourself speaking for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, try and add the AI subtitles. I'm not always a fan of technology, but this is quite a nice one. See how accurate it is. If you're 2 or 3 words that are slightly different, that's fine. But if you're way out, obviously it's a very unbiased, impartial way of recognizing that actually you do need to do something to improve your voice and perhaps become clearer at how you articulate things. So anyway, I thought I'd leave you with that tip.